The following program is a production of HEW Entertainment and contains views, opinions, commentaries, and content that may offend some subscribers of this show. Listener discretion is advised.
It's that time once again for HEW Entertainment Radio.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Hosted by Jonathan Clarke.
The beat! The man! You gotta beat the man! Woo!
Be sure to join us in the live chat room during the show.
Hulkamania is running wild like it's never ran before.
Call us on one of our request lines. If you live in the United States, call us at 1-641-985-7800, box number 3729280. If you're from Canada and would like to call us from 1-647-724-4194, box number 3729280. Long distance charges may apply in some areas.
I've been the world heavyweight champion 10 times.
Or you can always drop us a line at MySpace, myspace.com/HEW Entertainment.
And you will rest in peace.
Emailing us works for you too. Email us hewwrestling@hotmail.com.
I am a wrestling god. JBL.
And now, without any further ado, here is your host of HEW Entertainment Radio on the official website of HEW Entertainment, Jonathan Clarke.
The champ is here!
Streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. HEW Entertainment Radio is inviting you to comment on our video blogs, join the conversation, and like us. So what are you waiting for? Log on and listen now. Don't miss out on any of the action. Download our app on the App Store, Google Play, and the official website of HEW Entertainment. Once you download and install it, you'll get caught up on news, YouTube videos, and more. Download it now.
They are Little Mix with their mega smash hit. It is called Black Magic, and I know it's hard for a lot of people to come to terms with the fact that they are the first female group to top the Spice Girls album sales back in 1998. They beat them out. No matter if you believe it or not, Little Mix is definitely having a great deal of success because of songs like that one, Black Magic, the Cali remix, kicking our show off this week. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke, live on our Facebook page at HEW Entertainment and on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke1 are just some of the ways you can get in on the conversation. And if you haven't already figured it out by the graphic on my YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke22, I am streaming a latest review of Disney's Dog with a Blog exclusively on Disney Channel US and Canada. This is something you should take advantage of. To be honest with you, I was never really a huge fan of Disney's Dog with a Blog, but I am kind of making an exception because this show has gotten better from season to season and become more unpredictable and just all around fun to watch for everyone and every member of your entire family. Believe me when I tell you, this show has something for every member of your entire family to take away from it, and I think this show could be getting better reviews than what it has been getting because of the comical reprieve that people like Stan and the cast members give us in this show, and it gives us something to talk about when you talk about a promising Disney Channel show. This is a show really for all animal or dog lovers, and it's a show that has a different message and a different theme from episode to episode, and I really appreciate how Disney leaves us hanging at the end of every episode of this show. Sometimes they have special editions of Dog with a Blog from episode to episode, which leaves us hanging, and they have specific shows that have different themes from episode to episode, but it keeps us guessing, and we want to know where Dog with a Blog is going to be taking us. Now, of course, in the first couple of episodes of Dog with a Blog, they tried desperately to keep the dog's secret of being able to talk away from the parents, and then with the new season of Dog with a Blog, they eventually find out the dog can talk, and they come to terms with accepting they have a talking dog as a member of their family. We've seen this so many times over the years from Disney. This is something that's uncharacteristic of them, and that's probably why I've chosen to come down hard on Dog with a Blog in recent years. It's because we've seen the same kind of original concept for a Disney Channel original show and or movie for the better part of the last, dare I say, 20, 25 years, where the dog actually talks. It's kayfabe, using that term very loosely. It's kayfabe from certain individuals. They all eventually find out, and then, of course, it's a happy ending, either with the TV show or the movie. We've seen this time and time again, so it's kind of like it's being reiterated with Dog with a Blog, and that's how it will feel for a lot of people who can remember some of the retro shows or movies where the dog or the animals talk. Disney have always done something like this, so it's kind of an original kind of approach for a Disney Channel original show, especially when they really need to start shaking things up, especially after shows like Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place went down under and went south, with people like Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez breaking off their contractual obligations to Disney. They needed something to really shake Disney Channel up. And really there for a while, the only show they had really to fall back on seemed to be Bella Thorne on Disney's Shake It Up. And Shake It Up was a great show with the theme, of course, of Shake It Up Chicago and all the Disney Channel stars making guest appearances on the show from episode to episode, season to season. But the thing was, they relied too much on shows like Disney Shake It Up to make up for the loss of shows like Hannah Montana and Wizards back in the day. Now, I did review Disney's Girl Meets World as one of the best Disney Channel original shows since I saw Wizards of Waverly Place back in the day, the Wizards of Waverly Place original series or the movie, because I really believe it was one of the best shows since Wizards. And I think that Dog with a Blog could get there, but it's going to take some time. It just seems like it's in a position really just trying to establish itself on Disney Channel, and it will be debated for a long time whether or not the show actually was established. Now, they have had pretty interesting episodes of Dog with a Blog. I find some of the episodes more funnier than others. Sometimes there's a lack of creativity coming from the writers on this show, but it is to be expected again because it's really an original show from Disney where we've seen the same kind of concept reiterated with how the dog can talk. I also would appreciate if they really changed up the show where we had more talking animals than just Stan himself. I think that that would make the show a lot more interesting as opposed to just having a dog being able to talk, probably introducing a cat into the series or another dog into the show who becomes a member of the family. That would be really interesting if, say, a dog or a cat came from out of nowhere, joined the family as the latest member, and was able to talk too and had that enhancement bestowed on him. Even if you didn't have the animal being able to talk like the cat or the additional dog that would become a member of the family, I think that would really shake the show up and make it more interesting as opposed to just having one solo talking animal. I really would appreciate seeing something done in that way. They tried to bring a bird into the show that was unable to talk. I think it was a parrot, and Stan, of course, wasn't very accepting of that. They didn't really do a whole lot with that. They could have done so much more with that parrot. They could have included him as a part of the cast. Eventually had a voice come in for that, doing a voiceover for that character. That would have been awesome, but they dropped the ball with that. Again, you know how I keep going back to how original this show is. I also appreciate the casting that's been done with Dog with a Blog. First off, I was kind of skeptical on the cast. I really didn't know what quite to make of it, but I really appreciate the girl that plays Avery on the show. Both Avery and Chloe, they bring a different feel out of this show. Let me just say this, if not for Avery as opposed to Chloe, that show probably wouldn't be as successful as what it is. Either Avery or Stan, the voiceover of Stan, that show wouldn't be as successful as what it is. You put anybody in the position of being the voiceover of Stan over the one you've chosen or someone else to play the role of Avery, then that show pretty much would have been a blowout for Disney and would have been a waste of an investment for Disney Channel to even have put behind, because if you're going to invest in any show on Disney right now, that show would probably be Girl Meets World. And I haven't really reviewed Girl Meets World with a whole lot of promise, but I have to give Girl Meets World the benefit of the doubt where they definitely deserve it because they are really the torch carriers for Disney Channel right now. It's either that or Liv and Maddie, where Dove Cameron, of course, is in the double role of both Liv and Maddie with so many different personalities coming forth from her. You have a lot of shows on Disney that are making up for Dog with a Blog. That's a good thing, but that doesn't mean that potentiality doesn't go or tie in significantly with Dog with a Blog. We can see so much from that over the next couple of years. It's been on Disney Channel now for the better part of 2.5 years, and I've enjoyed seeing Dog with a Blog and the many directions the show has taken or could possibly taken. But here's the downside of Dog with a Blog. There are so many directions that show could have taken over the last number of years, for the better part of the last 2.5 years, which it didn't. And it was a real setback because there was nothing really for Disney Channel to fall back on until other shows made the premieres. Like one that I'm really high on right now is Bunk with Peyton List, of course, coming from Disney's Jessie. Of course, she starred in that show with Debbie Ryan, who was one of the biggest Disney Channel stars of the last 10 years, from Sweet Life on Deck, replacing Ashley Tisdale, and bringing a lot of potential with her to Disney Channel. And I really appreciate what they're doing with the remaining cast, the remnants, if you would, of Disney's Jessie, like Peyton List, who has a very promising future with Disney Channel, really high on her. So I think that Dog with a Blog really needs to step up their game and really needs to put forth better writing and far more creativity for that show, because with that creativity and better writing coming to the forefront, this show has a lot of potential. It can keep us guessing, it can keep us laughing, and it can keep us entertained from episode to episode. And that's really what a show like that needs to aim for, because I think that every cast member on this show definitely has a promising future. Now, be it that I'm a wrestling columnist and a wrestling radio show host, one thing that I noticed about Dog with a Blog and a lot of Disney Channel shows of recency is they're trying to incorporate wrestling into the show. I found that pretty funny, how the father of the daughter Chloe tried to explain to her the psychology of professional wrestling and how they were saving a main event for a pay-per-view and why a ladder match wouldn't be happening on television. So eventually, out of